Fucking, it is fucking 12:06 on a fucking Sunday night. Monday morning, if you want to be a real fucking dickhole about it. I got some whiskey in me. I got my friends up here. I got Rob, the sheepdogmen, and
The beautiful sheepdoggers.
fucking smoking and hanging out. I just played love songs to strangers, and I think the only acoustic version
fell in
of
love.
Rush that I've ever heard in my life.
He stole the show with Knights in White Satin.
Really?
That-
That was the one?
You said it made you want to do heroin. It made me want to do heroin, and I've never even done heroin, and it just made me. That would be the song to do heroin to.
Right? That like, and I love you. It's like, oh, fucking hitting that plunger down and
Tie me up.
looking at like a picture of like a long lost love and like your mother and crying and shit. I do this. That's why like I love smoking opium. Opium is like heroin without the guilt. It's like it's opium. Chinamen used to do this shit and then go fucking like pull a rickshaw. So like fucking, you know what I mean?
I think it's a needle thing. So as soon as you like realize, oh, there's no needles going to me, it's like, all right, I'm still doing heroin though. So
Yeah, I kind of
Works.
feel like when it comes to adding that kind of artillery to fucking do your drug, like if someone was like, yo, bro, you can't smoke weed anymore, and be like, well, why? And be like, it's the future, you fat fuck. And now we don't fucking, we got to shoot it up with a needle. I'm covered in tattoos, and I'd be like, no, you know, like fucking, that would be like pick a new drug, you know. Like I can't imagine getting to the point where it's like you're partying and it's like fucking Motley Crue's girls is on and shit, and it's like, man, we smoked all the weed and we did all the blow and fucking, oh man, it's like, fuck, let's melt shit on spoons and shoot it in our veins with my brother's diabetic fucking syringes. And it's like you get like a shot of insulin with a little bit of fucking like heroin on that motherfucker.
an Advil, crushed up Advil or something.
And fucking, yo, you want to talk about brave people? Fuck crab fishermen. Fuck the deadliest catch. The first guy that fucking got a Roxy or an Oxycontin, it was like, yo, I ain't gonna fuck around. I'm just gonna try to melt this shit and put it inside of me. You know, like intravenous drug use. I can't wait for digestion. You know what I mean? Give it to me now. You like fucking.
Who's
You,
got 15 minutes to wait? I want to feel it in the next 36 seconds.
I want to peak now. Repeatedly. It's like fucking. I don't know. Like opium is like getting covered in a warm blanket
Yes.
and then having smoked blunts on top of it. I'm like, oh, this warm blanket, and like it's very soothing. Like the other night, fucking this girl fucking has been blowing me up ever since I broke up with my ex. And first of all, the girl tells me she's 24, but I don't know, because when I look at her picture, she looks like she's 35 or something. How do you fucking know? But I mean, not in a bad way. She's fucking banging. You know what I mean? Like fucking gorgeous. But she looks like a grown ass woman, not a 24-year-old girl. And I mean, like, fucking, so now, like, she fucking hits me up on Facebook. I think I know you, you know, like, fucking, like, you know. And I'm thinking, like, so, fucking, first of all, if this fucking bitch ran into me, well, fucking, you know, keep walking. You know, like, fucking, I'm not that kind of, you know. I'm not out there fucking walking around in my Jordache jeans catching people's eyes. You know, I'm fucking just trying not to fucking have a heart attack. And fucking, so she keeps talking to me all day, and, like, fucking, conversation's all right. And fucking, she ends up saying, hey, you know, where you at? I'll shoot over. So, like, I'm all, like, fucking thinking, I'm going to fucking destroy this motherfucker. So I'm like, oh, I'm at this place. And, you know, I'm here. And all of a sudden, I'm like, she's a cop. She's a fucking cop. I'm like, I'm going to jail. I'm like, this is how they're going to get me. Fucking, let's throw some pussy at the fat fucking. As soon as he fucking tries to get roped into that, fucking, you know, you're going down, fat fuck. And like, so now I am flipping the fuck out. So I'm looking for anywhere to hide the weed that I have here. And it's not a lot. It's just a little bit to, you know, catch a little head. You know, I never go home with any. It's always gone by the end of the night. And so fucking, I'm in the bathroom like ripping fucking tiles out of the fucking ceiling, hiding shit, fucking, you know, going bonkers. And then I'm like, do I have anything in my wallet? Like I'm thinking like, because sometimes you pull out an old bag of Coke in your wallet and you're like, oh shit. You're like, fucking, your New Year's 2013. Like, you're still good. No, fucking, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, and there's a fucking Percocet 10. And I'm like, the fuck did I get a Percocet from? So I'm not like, but I'm like, dude, I'm like, fuck it. And I just eat it. So now I'm like, Percocet fucking fucked up. And I'd been drinking a couple beers. Plus, I was stoned and paranoid.
Did she show up in the cop uniform?
No, she showed up and she was a normal human being. Like, she was a person. And I was like, waiting for the bums rush. Like, I was waiting fucking for the door to come flying in and be like, you know, get on the ground, boy. Like, you know, I was just ready for it. And so she stays for a little bit and then she fucking bounces. And then by the next morning, I had pictures of her muff. And I'm like, is this bitch fucking crazy? So my fucking two theories are this. I'm going to get murdered. She's just trying to kill fat people. And fucking, she decided the best way to rope in a fat guy is to fucking throw beaver pictures at him. And then fucking, you know, go on a date, go hang out, and then fucking, you know, chop my head off and do whatever you do with it. Nice. So that's my first thought. My second thought is she's really fucking 35. And I'm right. And she's cheating on her husband. And I thought she's telling me I'm 24, but you know what I mean? But then, like, I'm thinking, how the fuck do you tell someone? How the fuck do you go, yo, girl, you ain't no 24? You know, how insulting is that? Like, yeah, because if she is really 24, I'll ruin her. That'll be the last straw, and I don't want to do that. You know, so I think the best way to go about this is to be like, yo, what are you listening to? And when she goes, oh, you know, I just listen to, you know, like, whatever's on the radio. I'll be like, you're 35, bitch. I'm like, fucking going whatever's on the radio thinking you're hip and current and shit. Get the fuck out of here.
If she mentions Buck Cherry, it's over.
Yeah, well, no.
I'm 35, 36.
So, fucking, like, it's insane. Like, fucking, what is wrong? Like, you know, like, I mean, like, it's flattering, but at the same time, I could be a fucking lunatic. I could be, that picture could be in Japan right now, fucking making me tens of dollars. You know, like, fucking, oh, Koshimiro, oh, you know, blur that shit out. They'll fucking have a field day with it. They blur out most of their porn. Like, there's, like, the fucking, like, in, like, you know, penetration and, like, fucking pubic hair. But they do the most fucked up shit. It's like, fucking, really, you're blur out straight, boring missionary sex, but someone could stick a fucking sea creature in their fucking twat or in their asshole.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck an octopus, but blur out my dick real quick.
Yeah, it's like fucking what? You know, who decided, Koshimiro, it is dishonorable to put unblurred pubic hair in a porno movie? And then someone in that motherfucker's just like, octopus. Yeah. What should we do with this octopus? And they're like, look at this girl. She's like, ducky, ducky, in the corner. And they're like,
but they don't even blur out their faces, just their dicks.
yeah.
That's even weirder.
Hide your shame.
That's how you get that nice shameful look.
It's because my pee-pee head is square. No one knows Japanese people have a very special private area.
I got 2 inches of hard dick.
Motherfucker, they're fucking with pegs over there. I really think, though, it would be so funny to hear on the news that a Japanese guy went crazy, naked downtown, beating the shit out of people and slapping them with his fucking 12-inch dick. Screaming at them in his, like, native, like, Okimiru! You know, fucking, bah, bah, like, just whacking people with it. It's like, not every one of us has a small penis! You know, fucking, like The Simpsons, the great humongous.
Maybe that's why they blur them out, because they don't want you to know how big they are. They're just like, we're hiding it. It's a secret. We're going to take over the world.
The Yakuza be hiding the dick.
The Yakuza thing. Don't let them fool you.
So, you know me, I don't like to ask questions about what you guys do as a band or any of that. It's not my forte. My forte is talking about life.
Indeed.
So what's the most fucked up thing that you could think of that you had to endure because one of your parents, like a strange story? Like, you ever see your dad's dick and he caught eye contact with you for too long and you're like, yo, dude. And he's like, hey, if it wasn't for this dick, guess where you'd be? On the sheets fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Anything? Any gems for the no viewers that have no idea this is happening? We'll get all the replays happening, but fucking.
There's been many a time that he's thought that I've been out of the house a lot sooner than he expected. So he'd walk out into the kitchen, butt ass naked, and my mom would be sitting in the recliner watching Medea movies.
It's really scary how I knew that your story would have to do with dad's dick flapping around.
And he just walks out of this room, and I'm sitting there grabbing a glass of orange juice before I hit the road. And he's like, "Oh, I did not know you were still here." And I'm like, "I did not know you still did this. You're like 60-something. That's awesome."
It's fucking bananas.
It's
Literally.
it's awkward, but awesome. You know, Godspeed. I hope I have that same libido when I hit that age.
It's
So,
good for Pop. Slinging that
absolutely.
dick like a fucking savage.
Just slinging it. I think
See-
it's like a king of the household kind of thing.
See, one of my favorite ones with my pop was there was a period of time where I hooked him up with a white kid that thought he was black that lives in the trailer park across the street. And he had opes on the low because no one knew what it was here. So he's like, I don't know, it's $2 a gram. I don't know. Like, so my dad and I would buy it up. But my dad had no idea I was buying it, and I had no idea he was really buying it because we were both kind of like looking at each other like, no, we just buy weed. We didn't want anyone to know fucking it went deeper than that. So I had a buddy who was really into wrestling. And I was like 14 and 13, and I'm like, I don't really like wrestling that much. And he's like, oh, dude, fucking, you know, it's fucking King of the Ring or one of those things. And he's like, and you got the fucking pay-per-view box, and I'm like, yeah, we can hang out and watch it, fuck it, you know. Cause I knew if I fucking went to my mom would be easy, and she'd be like, oh, let's go to Costco and get food and shit, and I fucking could gorge while he watched wrestling. I figured fucking, you know, he gets to watch men fucking battle each other all oiled up in their underwear. And I get to have some fucking fried mozzarella and fucking, you know, some of the little hot dogs. So
Costco pizza's not that bad.
we, that's how it goes down. And we get this fucking bag of like 150 chicken nuggets. Like, it was gigantic. And it wasn't like a name brand. It was like Union Carbine fucking government nugget.
Kirkland
You know, each
signature.
one of them was a perfect square. Like, you know, eat this shit. It's made out of chicken parts, you know. So fucking, I was like, oh shit, we got the big bag of chicken nuggets and stuff. And my fucking parents were going to go in their room and fucking do whatever the fuck they were doing besides being out of their room. So I fucking get all the chicken nuggets on the fucking bacon sheet, cook them up. I put them in this giant fucking Blockbuster popcorn bowl from the 80s. Like, huge. And it barely fit all the fucking nuggets. And I made a fucking big-ass plate of ketchup and a big-ass plate of barbecue sauce, some honey mustard. Like, we were fucking ready to rock and roll. My dad's bedroom door fucking burst open, all right? And he's standing there in his fucking tidy whities, and they're like tucked, and there was the fucking the thigh fat crevice, the fucking leg pit instead of the armpit. So his bird and his fucking balls are hanging out. And I'm like, and his eyes are shot. Like, he's fucked up. And he's just standing in the doorway. And he goes, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, holy shit. And he goes, get the fuck out. And they're like, he's like angry as fuck. And I'm like, whoa. So he fucking just snags the nuggets out of my fucking arms. It was like losing your child. Like, I was like, no. And like fucking the violin music started, and I'm like fucking. So I like let go of the nuggets, and he goes, "You fucking fat shit," and he just fucking goes in his room, and fucking 10 seconds later comes storming out, fucking looks at both of us with this fucking crazed, malazed glaze in his eye, where he's just like, and he goes, "Catch up, yo, catch up," and I'm like, it's up there. And he goes, you motherfucker. And I'm like, holy shit. And my buddy's on the couch like, what the fuck? And so I'm just sitting there like, that fucking douchebag took our chicken nuggets. Like, I was used to my dad's craziness. My fucking mom comes out of the room, and she goes, "Yo, you gotta come over here and look at this." He's passed out. He made like a wall of fucking pillows behind him in the bed. And he has the bucket of chicken nuggets, and there's just all these half-eaten chicken nuggets and ketchup all over him. All right, like he was a baby and first learned to eat, and they just threw him like down, like eat, baby, and like, and he's fucking knocked out. He's going, he's going, and I'm like, holy shit. And it's like, yeah, you see, you want to smoke pot with your stupid little friends? You see, you want to grow up to be like that? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to grow up to fucking yell at a kid and take their fucking chicken nugget. Fuck yeah, I want to grow up to do that. That's a beautiful thing. Right. So fucking we go back inside, and I'm like, fuck, I was kind of chagrined about everything. And it turned out that fucking 15 minutes later, Owen Hart would die from plunging through and so fucking my friend Travis is like, and he straight up was like, he's like, dude, Owen Hart's one of my favorite wrestlers. It's like, you know, and then the music starts and he's like, yeah, and he's like, all right, bro, oh shit, and I'm like, and then fucking like, oh, whoa, and then the camera goes right to the floor, and then it's like, Vince McMahon is like, oh, we have a situation here, and I'm like, a situation? I'm like thinking, what I wouldn't give to be the one cameraman. That's just like, I ain't taking this camera off of this shit, because Vince McMahon's going to pay me fucking $500,000 for that I stared at this, and it'll be on a DVD when Owen Hart's family's all dead, and Vince McMahon's a fucking cyborg fucking walking around. I'm McMahon. It's like, sure you are, Grandpa. You know, like fucking... That motherfucker's getting old, and he fucking keeps like getting more jacked and scary looking. I think fucking Vince McMahon goes to abortion clinics and just fucking sucks babies out like eating oysters. Yes. And that's how he maintains his fucking stature as a man. That's just my thought. So,
on that note, we're going to make our way to Taco Bell.
Oh, shit.
That's where I eat my feces.
Well, thank you all very much.
Gentlemen, likewise.
For joining.
Beautiful, beautiful performance tonight.
Thank you so much, man.
Very
Thank you
nice.
for letting me borrow your guitar.
Yeah. Thanks for putting it to use.
Well, the only reason I didn't use it is because of the strap. With my fat stomach, it'd be... Yeah, but it was like on an angle. I would have been fucking slipping.
And I have to add, I think every person has a terrible chicken nugget story. Just at one point in your life, someone just fucks up your nuggets, and you have to deal with it. You have to move on. You're like, damn, what am I gonna do?
There's fish inside these nuggets. I've heard that shit. It's like, no, it's a fish stick, you fucking idiot. And you know what the fucking craziest shit is? Sitting with kids watching a kid show, and it's like, and what's this called? And it's like, it's a chicken. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, you're eating that cute little animal. And they're like, no. And I'm like, just wait till you're older and you feel conflicted about everything. All I know is that I don't know. Damn straight. That's fine. Guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Be soft. And then there was two. On your microphone? Is that sitting there the whole time? Yeah, man. I had you plugged in.
Whoa.
Rob is here.
I actually didn't realize that was even sitting there.
Dude, we're in the corner right now because the camera got knocked over at some point. So, like, we're, like, huddled in here. I'm going to go to full-blown radio mode, I think, while we bullshit. So, this is my voice.
This is my voice.
Check this out. All right, this is now we could kind of chill in the corner, double corner. We could see our fucking Afrocentric friend, and
I see, that's nice.
my original vision for Dad's house was to always have Rob on it, on every episode, because I feel like we have a lot of yin and yang qualities. Rob sometimes I will bounce my life off of him, and he will give me guidance, and he's straight with me. He will tell me if I'm being loony or not.
Well, I feel the same way. I mean, it can only be an opinion. That's all I can give. But to me, it means something. You know, I
Well,
feel the same about you, dude.
I think we both care about each other's lives. Like, you know, like if you give me advice, it's like if you were going to be in my shoes, and likewise. In other words, like with that same kind of care, like if I had to be in that situation, what would I do for me? Not what am I going to tell him to do, and would I really go through with that?
Yeah. Well, sure. Sure.
And I really miss playing music. Being in propaganda and not going up and playing toilet songs is weird.
No, it was kind of weird, and some of that stuff we did is toilet songs too. So that made it especially nostalgic and interesting. You know, like the Misfits stuff.
Right.
I mean, we played that, you know, and some of the stuff you did, like the Fleet Foxes, and I almost was like, dude, I'll get up there and sing with you, bro.
You should have. You never
It's
have
good.
to.
It made me really, really miss just doing stuff together. We haven't played in a while.
You know, I've never played the Fleet Foxes song, but when you said you'd come, I was like, I'm gonna just fucking try it because that song's real special to me because like it kind of reminds me of like, you know, the bond we have as brothers. Like, you know, my brother, where do you intend to, like, you know, in other words, like fucking, you always have family, you know, no matter what. When the fucking shivering dogs resting and shit, like, fuck, you know, like
Yeah, it's a beautifully poetic way to say that.
it's pretty much like a bromance song. It really is. But I mean, you know, it's not gay to fucking have male friends or platonic female friends that you have like genuine love for their soul, for who they are as people, for their flaws and everything. And for me, like, I really extend my love to people who are trying to do good things. And my patience for loving people runs out when I consistently see them making horrible decisions that are not only destructive to themselves but destructive to other people. And especially when it's like, you know, if they're like shitty to their partner or shitty to their kids or, you know,
Yeah.
like shitty to their family. Like, to me, it's kind of like if someone can't fucking fully love their kids and give them love and treat them well, how do you think they're going to treat you as a friend or otherwise? And so, you know, the people that I have been friends with for a long time, they're usually, if not bettering themselves, they're not fucking up anyone else's ride at least. And, you know, I believe in respecting most people's right to live, but you know, the love everybody kind of thing, it's like I love everyone enough to not fuck with them and to not make their life hard, but like, you know, I don't know how you have a true love with all people, strangers and otherwise, you know, like I don't, like, I've tried to cultivate that, but I just don't, like, I see too many people that I want to smack the shit out of in a day, and like, I have like Zen moments, but then I have like truly fucking monkey-like human moments, like fucking smacking the steering wheel, and like, you know, one of the worst things is like fucking like arguing, and especially with certain personality types. Like fucking after a while, if like no one's even remotely trying to understand my point, like I'll flip. I'll start talking loud. It's because I get passionate about what I'm talking about, and I'm like, you're fucking having this conversation to talk over me, not to understand where I'm coming from, and it's pissing me off. So maybe if I'm louder, you'll fucking hear me. And
Right.
it's one of the monkey parts of my brain that like I'm ashamed that I still fall back on, but it happens, you know. But as for my man, I find in my life when I question my intuition, like what my gut tells me, or especially what my dreams tell me, when I go against the grain of that, my life, crazy, horrible, like not horrible, but like unfortunate, sad shit happens. And it's almost like my gut and my dreams know before something's going to happen that it's going to happen. And every time that my brain wants something to happen, but my heart's like, no, it's not going to happen, my heart always is right. My brain will try to rationalize what I want reality to be, but it's like something inside of me that's ineffable already knows what that outcome's going to be, and it's like almost like warnings that you don't heed. And
Yeah.
That's plagued my life ever since we did the Panther Caps.
You consider that a plague?
In a joking way. In other words, like, now it's been the fourth relationship since I've taken the Panther Caps. And every one of them early on, I had one of those moments where in some sort of meditative state, not just sitting and meditating, but like if I was doing so, like playing guitar on stage, I would just think in my head, like, she doesn't really love you, or something's not right, or you don't really love her, or whatever the truth was. And I would just have like these.
An epiphany.
And the thing is like after the first time, like, oh, you know, I guess, you know, the writing was on the wall. But now it's like fucking. Like someone could have me so fucking fooled with what their intentions on and what, you know, what their game is, and I'm like, nah, there's, you know, everything's kosher, and then like my gut will be like, no, it's not, and I'll be like, why? Everything's, you know, like I'll rationalize, no, everything's good, you know, see each other every day or whatever the case is. And
Almost like you don't want it to be true.
exactly, and
I've gone through that.
and I guess it sucks in just the way that, like, you know, you want stuff to work out, and you want like the good feelings with the people you care about to be, you know, infinite. And when you realize everything's, you know, finite and it's gonna pass and it's gonna go, it's like, you know, you want to believe that the person you're with at the time is gonna be there till you fucking croak, you know, or you want to believe that the goodness of the current moment's gonna last forever, and that's why they say live in the moment, because you're not guaranteed anything but the second you're alive. And for me, it's just every time I go against the grain of what my insides tell me, I fucking pay for it in some way. And what I've learned is I think the worst thing in the world that you can call somebody isn't nigger, isn't spick, isn't wop, isn't a piece of shit or an asshole or a honky. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think the worst thing that you could say to someone, especially someone you care about, is you're crazy. Because that negates their feelings, their perception. And what I found is a lot of the times that people say that, yes, someone might be fucking crazy, but a lot of times that I've encountered it, it's always someone who actually is crazy who says it to the other person to convince them that everything they're thinking is fucking. They make you question your own sanity, crazy people. And I think the worst thing that you could let go of is listening to your intuition. A lot of times we, you know, like, I want to rationalize things so much. Like, I can catch an EVP on a recording unit and try to rationalize what it might be aside from a disembodied voice from a soul, you know?
Mhm.
I'll try to figure out everything that it is, you know, that it isn't besides that. And, you know, once you find that voice inside, listen to it. Like that's a big,
Yeah.
it's a big thing that I've been missing, and like with a lot of things, like fucking with friendships that have went downhill, like fucking, I felt it long before or knew it long before it happened. Like I just, it's weird.
I think it's a gift. I mean, if you can perceive that, I think you can train yourself to perceive that better. I think everybody's got the ability to have a better perception of what goes on, in a different sense, in the spirit form.
Well, that's why I get
But
really
some people just have a gift and they experience it naturally.
absolutely, and that's why I get pissed at like real hardcore skeptics and like I love science and I love atheist versus theologian debates, but I believe this. I believe if someone could be predisposed to jump higher and run faster because of their genetics, someone could have a brain or a heart because they're discovering that the heart is a brain and that it actually has. That's why like you'll feel certain things in like the pit of your being. Like science hasn't cracked the code of what everything is. Like when they say that all your emotions are just chemical reactions, like chemical reactions might be a reaction to something you're feeling spiritually, and that's how it manifests in your physical carriage, but it could be stemming from spirit. It's just spirit's ineffable and intangible. So the scientific community goes by what's observable, which is commendable, but to claim an absolute truth in a place that we have no real, there are some things that are mostly true, but
yeah,
You-
you can't know. You can't know for sure.
and so I believe that there are people that are more, physiologically or genetically predisposed to having psychic or at least prophetic sensory abilities, like being able to tell what's
Yeah.
but like having premonitions and they come true. Like I really surprise myself, especially my dreams. Some of them, like the dreams are so bad, and then I realize I'm living them at some point, and I'm like, holy shit. And if I would have listened to the dream 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been in that situation. But it's like, it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of like, it just sucks bouncing around from fucking. But that's how you learn, is you bounce around from people to, person to person, to place, friends to friends, and then you kind of figure out what's true for you.
Through experience.
Absolutely, and it's weird to go from insanely busy to fucking hoping that job fucking opens up in your fucking store. Like my mom's dating now,
Oh, rip.
and I need to get the fuck out of the house. So as soon as that job comes up,
Wow.
fucking, I need I'll sell auto parts. I'll drive the truck. I don't give a fuck. Like
I might be able to score you a driver position sooner than I could score you one at the store.
hey, I'm down. Is it stick shift?
They have, I think, all kinds.
Yeah, if it's not stick shift, I'm good to go. I do not know how to drive stick. I tried to learn it in a Ford Focus and destroyed my friend's flywheel. And so you have to also
But
understand.
that's not your fault though. That's because it was a Focus.
Yeah, I was 20 and on drugs, trying to learn how to. So it was a bad time to learn too.
But I burned out my sister's clutch when I was learning to drive stick shift. So it happens.
That sounds like a country song. I burned out my sister's clutch.
Burned out my sister's clutch.
So we're 34 minutes into a show right now. What did he think about
This is what you do.
the death of Robin Williams?
I don't really think much about it.
No. Did you like his work?
I wasn't a particular fan of the later stuff, but I mean when I was a kid, I used to watch like Mork and Mindy and stuff. You know?
Yeah, his older stand-up is pretty funny.
It
He's just
didn't
one of-
affect. It didn't affect me. In any way.
He's one of those comedians and actors that like. There's a couple things he did that I thought were okay, but nothing that I was ever like fuck yeah, Robin Williams. Like nothing that ever like struck me as groundbreaking or amazing or
No,
so.
not even Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean like. The premise is funny, I guess. You know, it just he just you know how some comedians you just click with, like you fucking be like
Sure.
that guy'd be fun to drink and chill with. Robin Williams just didn't do that for me. He didn't make me feel like I wanted to go hang out with him. It seemed like he would be on all the time and never chill and just be a real person. He had that kind of vibe, like on stage. It was like so hyper watching his newer stand-up.
It's probably all the coke.
Yeah, well, he had a lot of demons, I guess, that he was dealing with in his life. It seems that comedy and sadness go hand in hand. Because I think joy and sorrow come from the same well.
Yeah.
I think one of the defense mechanisms that the comic has that makes them who they are is taking their personal tragedies and trying to look at how funny they are in the grand scheme of things. You know, when you like take a breakup or fucking someone dying in your family to like the chaos that happens on a daily basis, it's like, who gives a shit? Like, you know. And I'm exhausted. So I'm gonna be the first to say that. And I appreciate you all bullshitting with us, but I think I'm going to shut the recorder off before I trail on into nothingness. And but Rob, you need to come on during the week when I have caffeine in me
I would like that.
and really shoot the shit. Because Rob and I get deep, we'll talk about crystals and all that shit. I keep hearing something touch the doorknob. They say this building's haunted, so I don't know what that's about.
My bad.
Whoa. So, this is your buddy Joey D signing off. Goodbye.